righty. Well, welcome to our CUUPS service. This is the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans, and we are going to talk to you about our sacred selves. We're going to talk about talking beyond the box. This is a preview of our Witches' Ball, which is going to happen next Sunday from 6 to 10. So, welcome, everybody. As I said, this is our CUUPS service, the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans. Our theme for this year's Witches' Ball next year is Sacred Gender, Sacred Self. So, before you is a box. Now, during your lifetime, you'll encounter many of these boxes. Some of them we create for ourselves. Some are given to us by others. And some, society has decided, is the box that best fits who we are. We all carry these boxes with us, whether we realize it or not. Today, we are going to explore the freedom of understanding our true selves and how we can step out of these boxes and into our sacred selves. When we're born, most of us are given a label, either a boy or a girl. And these come with a set of expectations. Boys are tough. Boys are strong, they're aggressive, they're bold. Boys don't cry. And they don't share their feelings. Now girls are soft, they're sweet, they're submissive, and they're kind. Girls are overly emotional, and they don't share their feelings. And they do share their feelings. But they're too fragile. And these stereotypes are often the expectations of the box. Society assigns us early on who we are and what we can do, what dolls and what action figures we're allowed to play with, what we're allowed to do, allowed to like, and how we're allowed to act. Now, what I love in particular about this younger generation is their willingness to question these social norms. There's a young person in my life who rejected these norms very early on. We used to shop for both girl sparkly pink and boy loose-fitting pants. Now, I shared their frustration as I see so many items gendered just for our comfort. And of course, it's priced a little higher if it's pink. Items with floral scents are for femininity, and manly colors have woodsy scents to appeal to masculinity. The marketing is saturated with the stereotypical box, insisting we must smell a certain way for a certain gender. Now, my mother and my grandmother's generations were even more limited in what they could do in society and what they could own. Women couldn't own money until 1974. They couldn't own their own money. Men were expected to be in charge, and women were expected to submit. Now, we've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. All of these stereotypical boxes assume a binary, a cis woman and a cis man together. Now, we haven't even explored the challenges those outside the cis binary face when they're handed these boxes. I don't begin to presume that I can adequately begin to verbalize the understanding and the challenges of the LGBTQ community. But here's what I do know. I know that you, and I know that I, and I know that we are a beautiful spectrum of humanity. And all of you are sacred. Yes, all of you. All of your embodiment is sacred. And all of you is welcome in this space. The more we understand what boxes are given to us and to each other, the more we learn to step outside of those boxes and outside of our expectations and truly expect and know and love each other as we are. Now, each week I begin our services here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Brevard with these words of welcome. We welcome everyone, whoever you are, whoever you love, however you're thinking, you're feeling, you're showing up today. Bring your whole embodied, amazing, wonderful self into this space and be welcome. And I extend that welcome to each and every one of you today. Your whole embodied, amazing self is welcome here. I have a confession to make, though. I am as guilty as anyone of assuming these boxes for other people. I've had people in my life who did not fit the gender they were assigned at birth. And when a person I cared for told me they identified as a boy, I assumed they would begin to dress and act what I perceived as masculine. When they didn't present as a hyper-masculinized version of themselves, I was very confused. What I had to be taught was identity is not a rejection of a stereotype, but an embracing of your true self. In other words, boys can wear dresses and makeup and still be boys. How you express yourself is very personal, and any confusion on that matter is my box to step out of and not theirs. We can all learn from each other and redefine our understanding of self in ourselves and in others by removing our expectations of how things should be. Now, for the purposes of understanding, here are a few definitions. Cis, C-I-S, means the sex you were assigned at birth, and it's the same as your gender. Gender is your internal identity. And expression, gender is your personal identity and expression. Sex is a biological classification. And let's be clear, the sex of a newborn is not always medically clear. There are ambiguities at times. We assign a binary boy or girl because society is requiring it. Gender is different from your sexual orientation. Who you are attracted to is separate from how you identify, and how you express yourself. Only you can know your true self, which is something we're going to explore next week at our Witches' Ball. This brings us to the inspiration for this year's Witches' Ball. Our theme is Sacred Gender, Sacred Self. The ritual that was created is designed to be inclusive of the spectrum of identities we find in our community. The ritual will explore our true selves, not just gender, but all the veils and all the masks we wear to hide our true selves. Like much of society, witchcraft also has a binary box. Traditional rituals often include symbolic balance between masculine and feminine energies. Though the gender of coven members and roles of priests and priestesses, the calling of deities, and the ritual items like the chalice and the athame. In our modern understanding, we begin to see that even the gods and goddesses are often beyond the binary of gender. They can be more fluid and more expansive in their identities. Through them, we can expand our own understanding of ourselves and of others. We can learn to overcome what we believe must be in our lives and see that the possibilities of what could be in our sacred selves. We were inspired by the two chalices ritual, which I mentioned earlier, by Yvonne Aburo. Traditionally, the chalice and the athame are joined together in a symbolic union of God and goddesses. That is the sword you see and the cup you see. The athame being a representation of the male deity, and the chalice, the cup, of the female deity. The two chalices ritual was an inclusive way for the two women to join their energies together. That's the one with the two cups. They said, "I fill your cup with love," as they passed the wine to each participant. And it's with that intent that we share our ritual, which we'll be doing next week, and you're all welcome to attend. Showing there are ways to honor witchcraft and be inclusive in our rites, we will come together to create a space for our true selves. We will take this journey to understand our true selves and to remove the layers, the boxes, the barriers, the veils we have to hold on to. This is witchcraft, and this will be our sacred journey. Understand that this journey is very personal, and there are no right ways to take this journey. Not everyone can or wants to show their true self to the world. There's nothing wrong with that. You are sacred, and who you truly are may not be who you present to the world. That's okay. We all wear our masks from time to time and place to place. When someone shares those parts of themselves with you, understand that it is a gift, something that is both shared and received. You are sacred. You are welcome. See the gifts we share with one another and be blessed. Though there are many expressions of this box in your life, it may be how you identify or who you love, but it may also be how you're expected to be in society, the role and the labels we give ourselves, the expectations we put on ourselves or we put on others, the way we speak to ourselves or others, the right or wrong way we believe things should be in society. And all of these are expectations of the box. So I'm going to leave this box here. And if you feel like releasing any of those things holding you, blocking you, preventing you from living your true self, I invite you to throw it away in the box, where it belongs. I leave you with this blessing. May you find contentment in your true self. May you have the bravery to find your true self. May you never restrain your true self. May you always remember that your whole embodied sacred self is welcome, worthy, and loved. Blessed be, and thank you.